I've been officially making games for 3 years. I started creating games in September 2022 when I began working on my bachelor's project, which was to create 2D educational game in Unity or Unreal Engine. Problem was that I have never made a game before, but I always wanted to make one, and it was my childhood dream. At that time I knew nothing about Unity or Unreal Engine, but I decided to make my first game for my bachelor thesis in Unreal Engine, because I just liked the name of Unreal Engine more than Unity. That's it. I bought a 2D game course on Udemy that was similar to what I want to create, and I got started. I called my game Escape from Solar System, where the player plays alien who had a crash landed on Mercury and needs to escape from the solar system. During their journey, they must pass through all the planets and fight enemies that appear in certain levels. The game fulfilled its educational purpose by adding various facts about planets to the gameplay. After 2 months of development, I stopped working on the project in Unreal Engine and started over in Unity, because I had some problem with Unreal Engine. I made the entire game in Unity in 3 months, and I was very proud of it, because even though it wasn't perfect or very entertaining, it was mine and I could play something that I have created myself. This simple game taught me that the basics of programming and game design are very important, and above all, how important is it to finish your game. Creating this game didn't cost me any money, because I downloaded the player and enemy character models for free from itch.io and created the other 2D assets myself using SketchUp. While working on Escape from Solar System, I started working on another project. I wanted to create a psychological horror game with a good story, and so my first commercial game inside this grip was born. I worked on this game for about 8 months, and thanks to it I learned a lot about game development. For the first time I've created mechanics for opening doors, collecting items and other things such as flashing lights, sound system and much more. It was my first experience with a commercial game, and I went into it blindly. I created Steam page, I released the demo that few people even played, and continue working on a game, finishing levels and so on. The game has more than an hour of gameplay, which I'm more than happy with for my first game. This project taught me how to release a game on Steam, how to create the Steam page, and even I earned around 100 euros. I released Inside This Grip on Steam on October 5, 2023 and sold a total of 73 copies. It didn't take long before I started working on another game. At that time I often play games such as Phasmophobia, Devour and Demonologist with my friends, and they were very popular games. I wanted to create something like that too, but unfortunately I didn't know how to create a multiplayer game. And so the game Banisher was born. It was a horror game in which I combined my favorite mechanics from Phasmophobia, Devour and Demonologist, except that it was for a single player game. Player can play in 3 locations: Old House, Abandoned Mine and Asylum. On each map, player has to do something different. In a house, he has to complete 3 tasks to weaken the demon, which is different in each game, and then perform a ritual to destroy the demon. The longer it takes the player, the more their health decreases and the more often the demon attacks. In Abandoned Mine, creature is blind, but can hear everything player does. Player must dig up and destroy 3 crystals in a cave. The task is simple, but paradoxically this level is most difficult because this creature hears everything, every explosion or every footstep. In a 3rd level, player is in Asylum, where the monster can see the player but cannot hear them. The player must use various tools to find out the name of possessed patient and set a fire to his corpse. During this game, random things happen in location, such as furniture being moved or some random jump scare is occurring. I wanted this project to be successful, so I made a demo and sent more than 80 emails to various YouTubers and streamers. Unfortunately, not a single one of them played my game, which was a bit depressing because I really believed in this project and thought it would be successful. I released Banisher on June 26, 2025, and unfortunately it was a huge financial failure. I didn't get back money I put into this game, and very few people bought it. Even though it wasn't a successful game, I learned a lot from it, such as that if I want to have a successful game, I need to focus more on marketing. If you are interested in my games and would like to play them, you can find the link in the video description. While I was finishing the game Banisher, I got urged to make open world RPG game. Yes, it was a very stupid idea of mine to create an open world RPG game all by myself. Even though I have already finished developing this project, I learned a lot from it, and in fact, thanks to this project, I started making videos on YouTube. This game was supposed to be called Eternal Nexus, and it was supposed to be RPG game where player is a knight of a king who died in war, and player is the only one who survived on the battlefield. I got the project to the point where I had functional dialogues with NPC characters, basic combat system and spell usage. First 3 quests, flying and half of the map design. I worked on this project for more than 3 months, almost 4 hours every day. Even though I enjoyed the development and the support from you was very great, this project was simply too big for me to finish it on my own. After finishing work on RPG game, I felt like creating a retro first-person shooter. I haven't told anyone about this game yet, and I'm not very sure if I will release it. This game is called Mutant Protocol, and in it the player is a soldier whose mission is to infiltrate abandoned chemical factory where chemical accident occurred a year ago and retrieve secret documents from there. After breaking in, player discovers that employees who died in the factory have come back to life, mutated and bitten the player, infecting him, so the player must enter deep underground to find antidote and escape from the building, before government orders the factory to be destroyed, and the infected employees and player to be buried. The game is finished. Except for few small details, player can now shoot with a pistol and SMG and also has a knife. The game also features voiceovers, several types of enemy characters and bosses. The game has a retro horror atmosphere, and I'm still thinking about whether to release it on Steam or not, because I'm very happy with it. Let me know in the comments if you like this game or not. I'm currently working on new horror game with realistic graphics. Game is called House Remembers, and in it player takes the role of Samuel Bennett, who inherited the house from his grandfather. Upon arriving in the house, we discover that something is not right, and series of events begins where the player must solve complicated puzzles and try to break the curse cast on his family. There is already demo for this game on Steam, so if you wanna play it, you can, and I would be very happy if you left wishlist. Game is almost finished, I'm just fixing now some bugs and finishing the level design. I'm very happy that many people have made videos about my game on YouTube, and we have already collected more than 600 wishlist, which some might say is not much, but for me it's a lot, so thank you all for your support. I plan to release this game in early November, so if you like this game, don't forget to leave a wishlist. In this game I wanted to do something different, something I haven't used in other games. I added voiceover to the game, made it with high definition render pipeline and managed to optimize it to 60 FPS even on very weak PC. Finally, I will show you a small preview of my new project, which I will devote myself to fully after the release of The House of Remembers. I don't have a name for this game yet, but it will be a low poly graphics game where players will build their own city, mine materials such as stone, wood, gold and others, and buy new weapons and items. They will also be able to grow vegetables, which they can sell to merchants. Essence of the game will be that, for example, every 20 minutes, group of warriors will attack the city and try to destroy the walls and crystal in the center of the city, which the player must defend. If player succeeds, they will receive item, and if they fail, they will have to repeat the wave. It will be a tower defense game with elements of farming and resource gathering, but player will also be able to explore the world and search for better materials in the mines. I will release separate video for this game later, but for now I have created prototype for the first month. Now I will test this prototype and I will see if I will continue with development. You can also let me know in the comments whether you like this idea or not. And this has been my 3-year journey as indie game developer. I must say that after 3 years of game development I know how to create a game according to my ideas, but there is still room for improvement. My goal is to create a game that people will love, and your comments can help me a lot with that, so I would appreciate if you could leave a like, comment and subscribe on this video. That's all for this video, see you in the next ones.